Okay, well, here we are, everybody, and this is episode 144 of the Hard Truth Diamond podcast. And Madeline, however you pronounce your last name, and it's Andrew's fault you have a difficult name to
Yeah.
pronounce.
Yes. Ponticello.
Ponticello, what a beautiful name.
Yeah.
It's Italian, right?
Yeah. Very
And so
Italian.
the big claim to fame for Madeline to be here as our first live guest client from way over
Honored.
on the East Coast in Connecticut is because of my 43 years in the diamond business. I've developed some great relationships and some great friendships. And of course, it's a little bit of an intimate process when you help people with their engagement ring, and then in your case with your wedding band, and in your case with jewelry, some special jewelry for
Mhm.
your wedding. And
And what? With what?
New York has to be so interesting right
It
now.
is. It is a very. Yeah. It's weird.
The riot I saw on Saturday was it Saturday or Sunday that had the riot? And,
Yeah.
and
It's.
are you guys affected by that? Do you have to go
Um.
out or?
No. I mean, the only way we would go out because we're like I don't know how if you're familiar with the tri-state really, but I actually Andrew's closer to New York line. I mean, with the military, with that stuff, he gets alerted. And he could get deployed if it has anything like if it's near like the water or if there's any threat like that. But for us, really, unless something like a 9/11 happened again, we probably wouldn't be called unless it was like something really, really, really big.
You weren't with the department in 9/11, though.
So I work in Connecticut, but if
Oh, okay.
yeah, so the only way that I would get called really to do anything with New York is if another 9/11 happened where they needed like more.
Support.
Yeah.
So what's the name of your fire department?
The Norwalk Fire Department.
Norwalk?
Hmm.
Awesome. Most recently, and I'll tell you what inspired me to reach out, Madeline, was your quote, and I don't have it in front of me right now, talking about how perfect the baby earrings are that you ordered for your friend through
Yes.
us. And so Madeline's been, well, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and who you are? And I adore you. I know what I was going to say, and we're going to show the video here of, it's been years now, I guess, since we
Yeah.
started getting to know each other, and Madeline is a firefighter,
Yes.
a first responder, a hero,
Yes.
really. I mean, and first of all, I guess I would like to thank you for your service on behalf of all of us here in both sides of the border in the United States and here in Canada for your service. It means a lot.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
so let's talk rocks. Let's have some fun. And one claim to fame that Madeline has in my 43 years that I wanted to get to is Madeline had, in the midst of everything else she's doing, saving lives, fighting fires, being a hero, she has twin boys, and Joseph and Andrew.
Hmm.
And they are, of all the kids, now I know for all you moms are out there that I said, your kids are cute. Two cutest children I think I've ever seen in my whole life. Like even my children, I don't remember if they were as adorable as these two. But you guys, you got to watch this video. We're going to throw up. So you can really see her two sons. Look, her husband Andrew came to me looking for a diamond. I believe he found us online. And
Yeah.
why don't you tell that story? And
So it actually was kind of crazy how it happened. So we never really spoke about engagement because when we got engaged, we weren't even dating a year. Um, so we got engaged and everything was great. Things were going as well as they could. The wedding venue that we fell in love with only had one date until 2025, and it was less than 5 months away. So we really started putting the pedal to the metal to get everything else done. Um, and rewind a few years, I had helped my best friend's husband pick out her ring. So before I did that, I did all my research and pretty much as educated as a consumer could be, I think. But
Meticulous Madeline.
yes,
I
I did all
recall
the research.
that.
Yes, I did all the research to make sure that like what he was going to be buying and what he was going to be doing, that everything was good. Now, fast forward, we're engaged, everything's good. We went to go pick out our wedding bands and we went back to the jeweler that he had used. And I'll never forget that I picked out my wedding band and they were like, "Oh, did you check the price tag of the ring?" And I was like, "No, because it's a wedding band." And I looked at it and they wanted $32,000 for the wedding band. And now, like I said, I did my research prior and I was like, "Oh no, like these are G color." Like I was like, this makes no sense. So I remember going home and I had a pit in my stomach. And like I finally said to him, I'm like, "Babe, like I don't, I think this was, I think they basically like pulled a fast one on you." And then we did more research. We got the ring appraised, and it turned out that they had overcharged him over $12,000 for the engagement ring. So what we ended up doing was I had reached out to you. I had sent the ring to you. We had done the whole shebang. So we ended up actually returning that ring because I mean, we're two first responders. We were young, starting our lives, and the company actually had prided themselves on first responders, military, like all this stuff. And it had turned out that we had a diamond that was virtually worth nothing. The quality wasn't good, and they had overcharged him for what it was. So then we had found you, and we reached out to you, um, and it was probably one of the best relationships business wise and I would say friend wise that we've made because one of your quotes when you say like there's always bigger but there's never more beautiful.
I
And
was going to quote that. You know what? I was going to put that up today, that actual
yeah.
quote. I just wrote it down. Where did I write it? My goodness, it's so funny you would say that today to me.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know. It's in some of my notepads somewhere, but it's true.
but it's
There should never be more beautiful.
but it's true and I get more compliments on my jewelry probably. I think that yeah, yeah, it's
There, I
so true.
wrote it
Everyone
today.
everyone is always like, "Oh my God, you have the most, I like your ring, the quality, the sparkle." Like everyone always raves about how beautiful all my jewelry is. And it really was something, if I would have known we were getting engaged, like I would have told him like quality is the biggest, most important thing to me. Like I want it to be something beautiful that I can pass down and this and that. And it really worked out. Like it was a little bit of rough, as you can imagine, in the beginning, because I think both of us were pretty shocked. And I think it's hard for a
Who
guy when he
wouldn't be?
goes to, yeah,
Who
when he
wouldn't
goes,
be?
and he was like the perfect example of, you know, right before then, I remember being like, does he not like me? Because he was always working. And I was like, this is so annoying. But I didn't know he was saving up for a ring. And so he was working nonstop and he doesn't have any sisters. He didn't tell his mom. So he went and, unfortunately, they took advantage of him, but it ended up working out even better because then we were able to meet you and you have taken great care of us and your customer service is outstanding and the quality of the jewelry can't be beat.
That's so nice. I agree with you 100%. It's
Yeah.
interesting what you're saying, Madeline. I'm being facetious when I say that, but you
No,
know,
but it's true. Like
you
what
know
they
what
told when,
egomaniac I am, right? So
no, but when we went for the wedding band and they were like 32, and I was like $32,000, like I'm not even getting anything crazy. And, and I remember saying, and the lady told me that when I questioned her, she actually said like, it's the value of how much he loves me that I should just be happy. Yeah. Yeah.
it's interesting to me because I do recall that, and I hadn't recalled it till you shared it now. We
Yeah.
didn't do any rehearsal or anything, and
Yeah.
to do this. Um, but I recall that, and I recall how, you know, first responders you're going to rip off. Like
Yeah.
these are the people that, because that's how you guys, Andrew, had found out about them. And,
Yeah.
the industry is caveat emptor. I say it all the time. And I love what else you said about what's really important at the end of the day, and it's this paradigm of owning it. And beauty represents love, and if you don't have a beautiful diamond, you don't see your hand for the rest of your life. And obviously you do, and I appreciate your comment. But these are the facts about what we do. I mean, these
Yeah.
are the most beautiful, and people don't really understand this, but we even guarantee it for life, that she'll never stick her finger out. You quoting me today on the exact same quote is kind of crazy to me, but is it?
Well,
There'll
you
always
know, because
be
like
bigger.
I'm kind of a tester. Like I was always the kid. Like my mom would be like, "Don't touch that," and I'd be like, "Don't touch this," and I'd touch it. So like I do always. Ever since you said that, I'm like, this can't be true. But every room I go into, it is 100% true.
Oh, I really appreciate that. That's so nice of you to
Yeah.
say. I tell our clients we're not retailers, we're brokers. So, you can
Mhm.
watch our price ads every week and everything else. But, I'm the middle of four sisters, of who I just hopped off the phone with two of them before you got on here. And, I was raised thinking that the only reflection of love for a woman is the beauty in her diamond. I mean, there's all the physical, but if it's going to be a diamond, it's all about beauty. And it
Mhm.
is, because the paradigm isn't buying it as you experience, it's owning it, and it's owning it forever, and it's feeling good and feeling right. And men look at it as business, which I'm sure is
Yeah.
how they got Andrew to buy some. Like,
Uh,
that's how guys look at it. Well, a
yeah.
woman looks at it like crystallized love on her finger.
Yeah. And it is crazy the difference because, for him, like I said, there was like 2 months straight where like I barely saw him. He was working like 6, 7 days straight.
They
And then when we had gotten engaged, like, see, like this is why I've been working. And it actually hit that much harder when we found out kind of where we were at because it was like this poor guy literally worked his butt off to like, you know, pay for this and they charged him like it was just so crazy. So it was like it was so bad, but then it was so much sweeter that day that when we opened the box when we got the ring from you. So it was really
That's
great.
so sweet. And so let's talk about your two boys. Like, I'm not easily impressed with other people's children because mine are beautiful kids. But when I saw this video of your two boys, honest to God, and I
Uh,
can't believe they're a year old already.
I know. It makes
Like,
me sick to my stomach. But you want to know what's funny? I had prepared. I come from a family where there's a lot of babies, lots of kids. My younger brother's 10 years younger than me, so I was older when he was a baby. But Andrew never held a baby before I had had both of them, and I was trying to like eat him into it. I'm like, babies when they're born, they're really not so cute, and they can come out looking a little funny, but as time
especially
goes on.
twins.
Oh, oh my God, these babies came out, and I know I'm biased because they're mine, but everyone was like, "Oh my God, these babies don't look like aliens. They're so cute." So they've been cute since the minute since the minute they were born. They really are so adorable.
Well, I think when you see that video of the two of them in the crib, I mean, honest
Just
to God,
cracking each other up.
I can't get it out of my mind. Okay.
Uh,
Like, of
they're
all the
so
kids,
funny.
and I've looked at lots of videos of kids in my lifetime. I also come from a big family. Anyway, look, you're busy. I did want to say one more thing about our pricing for you guys
Mhm.
is that for first responders, we give an extra discount. So if you guys are out there listening, you want some information, nurses, not doctors, get extra discounts with us.
That's
Uh,
fair.
right. My dad was a first responder. He was a police officer. And I know Andrew now is also working with the military. He was
Yes.
with the fire department before, wasn't he?
So he does both. So
Yeah.
he is a firefighter as well.
Yeah.
And he is actually he's an officer in the U.S. Coast Guard. He's an ensign. So.
Wow. But look, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being the first.
No,
Uh,
thank you for
Thank
having me.
you
It's a
for
pleasure.
being such a great client and friend and advocate for the company. We're really grateful to you for that. Say hi to Andrew. Kiss the
I
kids.
will.
When I come to New York again, I'm coming over to meet
Yes.
them in person. For sure.
Yes. Yes, for sure. And don't worry, I have a couple more pieces I want to try to squeeze out of my husband for our
I'll be
anniversary.
here for you.
Yeah, we
Say
were
hi to
talking about it the
Andrew.
other day, actually. We'll
That's
be in contact.
God bless. Talk soon.
All right. Thank you so much.